You know, I think collaborations have always appealed to me because I want to expand my own music. And you can only take that so far within your chops, whatever you have to offer, and bringing someone else in the mix makes you play better because it and differently, no question.
They become a sounding board and gives you other ways of looking at it.
And likewise for them, hopefully. And that's where the music, you know, it's like in the studio, you know, you don't want to tell somebody, I don't want to tell somebody what to play. I want them to come in and add to the mix. And then the music's going to go where I couldn't have thought it possible. That's the joy of doing it, see. So the collaborations for me, whoever it's been, you know, my good friend Norton Buffalo, Manzarek, obviously with Carlos, lots of people, Sienna Morrison comes to mind. I mean, it's about stretching the music. And for me, that's about stretching me. I like that. I like being like prodded to, you know, let's take it here. Oh, I never would have thought of that. Anyway, this is called Crawfish City. Carlos? Taxi ride down to New Orleans. The time is right for a party scene. A taxi driver named Junior at the wheel takes us on the ride by train. The streets at night is anything goes. There's no need for you to behave yourself. Nothing quite like it down in the South, down in New Orleans. The music don't stop, it plays all night down in New Orleans. Like Tippertainers or the Maple Leaf Bar on the French Quarter Canteen. We're having some fun in Bayou Land on a taxi ride down the Esplanade. Smelling the air, says it's Crawfish City down in New Orleans. Down in New Orleans. Come on, Carly. Plays all night down in New Orleans. Like Tippertainers or the Maple Leaf Bar on the French Quarter Canteen. We're having some fun in Bayou Land on a taxi ride down the Esplanade. Smelling the air, says it's Crawfish City down in New Orleans. Down in New Orleans. Down in New Orleans. Down in New Orleans.
Mr. Roy Rogers.
Carlos Reyes.
I'm from Paraguay, South America, so I have a lot of the ethnic South American roots. But my training on instruments, violin, harp, or whatever it was all classical. And so I had like the full two ranges, and I always loved different kinds of music because it gave me different ideas, whether it was blues, jazz, or rock, whatever. And for me, I know that other people inspire me. And whether it be, oh, I want to play that lick, it makes me play something a little different that's out of the ordinary, or sometimes just a tone. Because I know, like in this situation, he'll play a chord. He does a lot of open tuning, which is, you know, a different way of tuning your guitar. And sometimes he'll play a chord that's not your normal chord, and it just gives me an idea of a little melodic lick or something. And so that's the whole thing about working with somebody else, that collaboration, is that it inspires, at least for me, it inspires me to go somewhere else. That by myself, it might not be the same. I might practice something, but it's that other palette that you get to paint on.
We're speaking, of course, the question is directed to us, but the byproduct of this, of course, is that people enjoy watching this. The audience, from the, you know, when you see
the painting
people,
that comes out at the
end.
end.
The pain or the gain, you know, but that's when you're, from an audience standpoint, that can be an exciting thing because they don't know what's going to go. It's not like hearing your hit that they've heard 1,000 times, which is fine, but that's a different thing that we're talking about here. So they enjoy seeing that interaction, no question, because I've had feedback, I know Carlos has too, about, wow, that was kind of special. Well, why? Because they see this conversation musically going on, and that's a byproduct of us just trying to stretch it for ourselves, really, you know. So.
And I think for you, everybody that you've worked with, from what I see, has that kind of sense and that mind of, let's try something and just explore and forget the boundaries and the lines. That's always been my attraction to whoever he's played with, you know. And most of those people are friends of mine too, so it's neat to play within that same circle. That there's very few people I've had the privilege of playing with where I totally trust them on stage. Musically, not just professionally, but just musically, because some people will take risks and it makes you go, wow, yeah, that made me think of something, and it inspires you. And that's one of the things that I think the two of us never know how it's going to go. It may be the same song, but the magic happens at different times or it builds in a different way, and that's the exciting part of the relationship.
You don't really know where the music's going to go. I mean, you have an arrangement that you play, but like you have to be open for wherever that takes you. And we're both into stretching the music. I've always thought that, even though it's roots oriented from whatever, you know, influences you have, it's certainly in my case, you know, I mean, it's blues based kind of thing, but nevertheless within that framework, you know, we're trying to stretch the music, and part of that is just being friends and the trust on stage, but just letting it go and not thinking too much about it. You know, a lot of guys think of, you can always tell what somebody's playing if they're thinking too hard. And, don't think about it, just play. This is called the Patron Saint of Pain. Have mercy, she was in a good mood that day. Headed for trouble, walking with your eyes shut tight in a minefield of misfortune, baby. You just don't see the light. You're fighting with disaster. The man don't treat treat you right. Time to shore up your defenses. Put a deadbolt on your drain. You got the batten down, your hatches down. He'll push you to extreme. Yes, he's gonna keep you worried. The suit's not what it seems. He's the patron saint of pain. He's on his claim to his fame. The list of broken hearts won't matter. You're gonna play a losing game. He's the master of disaster. He's the patron saint of pain. Come on, God. Carlos Reyes, yeah, you better change your name to Calamity Jane. Don't pretend that he loves you true, girl. Better lock away your heart and chain. Oh, the hurt is coming right on through. He skulks there in the shadows, babe. He'll put a mortgage on your soul. He may just have a contact, babe. You know he's into mind control. Yes, he's gonna keep you worried. He won't even care no more. He's the patron saint of pain. He's on his claim to his fame. The list of broken hearts won't matter. You're gonna play a losing game. He's the master of disaster, babe. He's the patron saint of pain. My turn. Calamity Jane, don't pretend that he loves you true. You better lock away your heart and chain, babe, or the heart is coming right on through. He skulks there in the shadow, babe. He'll put a mortgage on your soul. have a contact. You know he's in my control, and he's gonna keep you worried. He won't even care no more. He's the bedtime singer pain. He's on his claim to his fame. Just our broken hearts won't matter. You're gonna play a losing game. He's the master of a disaster. The patron saint of pain. 10 or 12 years ago, again through Norton Buffalo's mutual friendship of ours, and we started performing together and just getting to know one another much more so, musically and personally, and just became fast friends. And we've become great friends in the past years. I featured Carlos, like tonight, on a lot of different gigs, and we've recorded together. He's recorded on a couple of my records, so that's my recollection. And we enjoy each other's company, and playing on stage, you never really know what's going to happen between us. So it's no holds barred with this guy, right?
Yeah, that's
my thing.
Yeah, it's true. We both played in San Francisco and the North Beach area, some of those clubs, and
It's true.
so I used to go see him, he'd see us, but we never were kind of, hi, how are you, we're friends. But it was actually, I remember it was about 15, 16 years ago that we kind of connected, because my daughter was just born, and Norton had called me and congratulated me. He says, hey, you know, tonight I'm playing with Roy, why don't you come down, blah, 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 and all that, and we'll celebrate. And so, yeah, we started playing on stage, and the friendship grew up out of the sounds, and it's just, we rehearsed many years later, but not in the beginning, and that's how the magic just started right off the bat on stage.
You know what's amazing is that, I mean, I love the way you play, Roy, but what did that little guitar ever do to you, man? You just, it's like, when it's done, the guitar goes, I need a cigarette. This is too much.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. I don't smoke, but I feel like having a cigarette when you know it. Okay, we are in Tahoe, right? It's above 18, right?